Good morning and welcome. Hello. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. It is the 22nd day of November 2021. I'm opening my first caffeinated beverage of the day because I am your highly caffeinated guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, controversy, speculation, and general internet nonsense that is the OGGM, and it's Monday, which means, amongst other things, we're going into the nightmare crash week of Thanksgiving and Black Friday, but it's also time to take a look at what's going on in the world of tabletop role-playing games, and of course, Strixhaven. So what's going on this week? Anything interesting that is not Strixhaven? Let's see. Not a lot's going on, but that's understandable because we are gearing towards the end of the year and the end of the production year, and we're going into the holidays. And plus, as we've mentioned multiple times, everything is backed up because of the holidays, because of COVID, and because of the ship apocalypse. That's S-H-I-P apocalypse, not S-H-I-T apocalypse, though both could be appropriate terms. All the boats and products and boxes and things that you thought might be out by now are backlogged. All the productions are backlogged, blah, 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 blah. Stuff I've already talked about. So, yes, it is not surprising that there's not a lot going on. But, hey, if you have not had a chance yet to jump on the bandwagon for the EN Publishing Level 5 Advanced 5e, you still have a chance. They're starting to accept the pre-orders for December, and the product should be out sometime in mid-2022. We have some prices up now for how much this thing is going to cost us. They have been pushing this product for almost 2 years now. There's a lot of speculation that this Level 5 up Advanced 5e could be the Pathfinder to Wizards of the Coast 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons, which a lot of people, I think, would like to see. There really hasn't been anything to compete with 5e for the retail money, and much in the way that Pathfinder sort of came along out of nowhere and kicked D&D to the curb all those years ago. So even though it's a little late to the game, considering, it's 2021 and 5e's been out for a couple days now, there's still some interest in seeing if something can offer 5e the competition it kind of needs. Which begs the question: has 5e been on top too long? Has it become complacent? And because it's become complacent, is that why some of the choices that Wizards of the Coast are making are so utterly ridiculous? Because there's no reason for them not to. So we will see what happens, but if you haven't had a chance and you still want to support this product, you still can. We have our release dates coming up for Strixhaven, which has been pushed back to mid-December due to shipping. We have had some very interesting previews of what's going on with Strixhaven. This will be the last D&D book for 2021. We've seen some pictures. We've seen some hints about the schools. It's definitely going to be a game changer going forward for what we could expect in the next year or two to see how 5th edition is going to let their products look. Of course, Strixhaven is completely separate from the main D&D storyline, so I don't know, as I said many times in the past, what, if anything, it means, but it definitely shows some of the ideas that Wizards of the Coast is percolating in their mind for what they might do with Dungeons & Dragons come 2024. So think of Strixhaven sort of as the last big experiment in possible rule changes. We had Tasha's, of course, which changed the board, and then Witchlight, which changed the board even more. There was a lot of choices that were made between Tasha's and Witchlight. Some worked out for Wizards of the Coast. Others, they're like, yeah, no. Of course, alignment being one of them. Alignment went away. Alignment came back. Might go away again. There's some things in Fizbins that are sort of giving a hint of what we might see going forward, but I think Strixhaven's going to be the big one. There's so many things in Strixhaven that are sort of different from what we can expect from normal 5e product, that this could be the sort of the placeholder. Wizards of the Coast are sort of throwing this out there with all these new experiments and going, okay, do they like this? Do they not like this? Does this idea work? And then that could be the guidepost for what we could expect going forward with Wizards of the Coast product. Okay, so Roll20 has announced a new player companion app for your cell phone. This app is free for all Roll20 users and will allow players to access their character sheets, roll dice, display character information and stats and portraits and stuff like that on their phones. So basically it's the same thing that D&D Beyond did, but it's an app for Roll20. Definitely showing the progression of how the digital marketplace is affecting our hobby. We know my personal opinion of having the cell phones at the table, not good. But yeah, so if you already have Roll20 and you've already put a whole bunch of stuff on Roll20, can't hurt to get this. And speaking of cell phones and digital play systems, Paradox Interactive has reached a deal with the online platform Demiplane to create a World of Darkness nexus. This is a digital platform that will allow online character creation and character management, video chat for online play, and digital toolbox, not toolbooks, though toolbook, it's an interesting word, for Vampire. Which is interesting. You know, Vampire World of Darkness is sort of laid in kind of just this weird limbo for a while, but suddenly it is making a huge return to both popularity and showing up again on the compass. So yeah, it's something we could speculate on. Why the sudden return of popularity and investment in the World of Darkness, a IP that up to now really hasn't seen a lot of positive influx and positive growth. I mean, there's been some definite controversy associated with it over the last couple years, but to see a digital platform for World of Darkness, followed that on the news of the huge increase in sales of World of Darkness in 2021. This could mean something, and it's possibly a topic we need to readdress in a separate vlog once we do a little bit more research. But for now, yeah, if you are a fan of the World of Darkness and want to see a digital tool set for this, much the same way D&D Beyond, this couldn't hurt to check out. I'd probably wait for them to get the bugs out, though. Just like with the one we just talked about, the Roll20 one, I wouldn't download it right now. I'd wait, a month or two to make sure they get all the bugs out. There has been some changes over at Paizo again. There's some concerns about management within the company post-strike and post-unionization. They have engaged a company called Engage to perform an employee survey to allow anonymous feedbacks to management. The company has also hired the law firm of Mort, Hook, and Hamoff to investigate allegations of discrimination against trans employees and sexual misconduct in the leadership team. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so we know that part of the reason why they unionized was there was a lot of complaints from the workers, a lot of things about harassment, abuse, concerns of how the management was stuff. There was the story about the carpet. We've talked about the carpet story before. Apparently there was a carpet somewhere in Paizo's building, production house. There's a lot. This is very vague as to where exactly this legendary carpet is. It's sort of the Maltese Falcon of Paizo controversy, if this carpet actually existed or not. But apparently this mysterious carpet was so disgusting, so hazmat disgusting, that it's one of the reasons that sort of spearheaded this whole level of complaints. Plus, of course, the segregation episode issues, the abuse issues, the harassment issues, the discrimination issues. Paizo is definitely not looking good in the eyes of the staff and the eyes of the public that are upon it now. Not good for a company that used to be the spearhead industry leader a few years ago and was able to kick D&D to the curb for a couple of days, but now they are facing a lot of internal turmoil, which of course is why they have decided to unionize. And speaking of the union, the United Paizo Workers, the labor union representing the Paizo's employees, are still in contract negotiations with the Paizo management. And they are looking for things like salary, time off insurance, and of course protection for the employees from any retaliation from all these feedbacks and complaints and harassment issues. So yeah. We have more details concerning the upcoming Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. There's including some information on the new dice system. The D616 system is apparently going to be a 3D6 system, which if you actually somehow manage to roll the 616 during the thing, that gets you the fantastic results. We have the playtest version coming out early next year. There will be some pre-generated characters on the playtest version. I gotta stop saying so much. You know, for somebody who supposedly has a degree in radio communication, I'm really not very good at this, am I? So there will be some pre-generated characters, rules for making characters. The playtest thing will be available on Amazon. It's, I think, $9. I've already pre-ordered mine, so we will go through with it once we take a look at it. It takes place in the mainline comic book continuity, so that's the main comic books, X-Men, Avengers, Fantastic Four, not any of like the what if stuff. And if you're interested in how this connects with the MCU, it doesn't, because the MCU doesn't take place in Universe 616. I think the MCU takes place in Universe 6111 or something like that. But anyways, the comic book universe and the MCU universe are separate universes, though they obviously do influence each other. So this will be available on Amazon. You can pre-order it now. It should be available sometime next year, early next year. Then they will start the play test. Of course, it is a played pay test, which that's just an idea. We know that Paizo did that too with Pathfinder 2nd Edition. You have to download and pay for the playtest, then send in your things with the hopes that what you suggest actually has anything to do with the game whatsoever. Yeah, I already ordered mine. I don't know how I feel about paid playtests. I mean, you're getting free work from a whole bunch of people to tell you what's wrong with your game, and now they also have to pay for the privilege of telling you what's wrong with their game. Shouldn't you be giving, what do we get in return? Hopefully we'll find out. Nightfall Games has been forced to delay the Kickstarter of their new RPG Demon Dog after running afoul of the Kickstarter rules. So this was going to be a Mork Borg game, and they have decided that due to the various issues regarding Kickstarter and unfulfilled projects, they are going to delay this till sometime next year. So if you are a fan of Nightfall Games, things created for Mork Borg or Kickstarter in general, it's good to know that Kickstarter is very, very diligent in making sure that if you're going to kickstart something, you do meet all the requirements and that you do fulfill all the promises. Like, if you kickstart our project, you get X. Well, apparently as we know that there has been a history with some companies not fulfilling that. So people have kickstarted it, paid them money, expecting to receive things, and have never received those things. Hey, have you ever wanted a full-size kobold sitting somewhere in your house or on your lawn? Well, Paizo and WizKids has 2 of them available for pre-order. These full-scale kobold statues will be made from foam, standing 36 inches tall. 2 will be available, 1 in red and 1 in blue, both decked out in armor and wielding a spear. Minor assembly required, and shipping charge will be due to the size and weight, and not available outside of the United States. If you want a life-size kobold to adorn your, porch, room, You can get one from Paizo and WizKids for only $600. If you got $600 sitting around and you're looking around your house going, I could buy a new TV. Or a 36-inch tall statue of a kobold. That would look really great in the kitchen, and what a conversation piece. So yeah, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, you can order it now from, I guess, WizKids. EN Publishing announced that their license agreement with Rebellion has now been removed, which means that the Judge Dredd and Worlds of 2000 AD line will be coming to an end. So yeah, if you were interested in knowing that there was a new Judge Dredd role-playing game that has been available around for now, and as well as the Worlds of 2000 AD role-playing game, apparently they reached an end of their agreement between whoever holds the rights to that and Rebellion Publishing and EN Publishing, so no future production of the Judge Dredd role-playing game. I'm sure maybe somebody will pick it up, or maybe not. Yet another network show has joined the growing list of television featuring Dungeons & Dragons, this time the CBS comedy Ghosts. The show, an American remake of the BBC series of the same name, is about friends Samantha and Jay who buy a rundown country estate to turn it into a bed and breakfast, only to discover it's haunted, and thus Samantha is the first living person that they can talk to. Episode 8 features Jay, disappointed that his Dungeons & Dragons character has died and he's been kicked out of his gaming group, runs a game for the ghosts, and Samantha must act as the interpreter. Wow, you got kicked out of the game just because your character died? Or what else did you do in order to get your character died? So, basically, if you want to watch an episode of a guy playing D&D with a bunch of ghosts, yeah, I don't see that lasting very long. Ooh, my Von's Dash order is on the way. And finally, from Humble Bumble, the new Minoria bundle from Monty Cook is reaching its end, but since this one isn't supporting any charities, fuck that one. The Map Bonanza bundle is also coming to an end. That one supports the Carbon Fund and Oceans charity. And the Guide to the Writing Fantasy and Science Fiction bundle is also coming to an end, and that supports National Novel Writing Month. So all the current Humble Bumbles will be coming to an end for the year, starting, I'm sure, with the Yogcast Jingle Jam starting on December 1st. We will have a whole bunch of new charities to support through Humble Bumble, Bag of Holding, our Bundle of Holding, and of course the Yogcast Jingle Jam, which we'll be taking a look at when that starts on December 1st and what charities they're supporting. And other than Strixhaven, that's about it. If you are interested in knowing what's going on with tabletop role-playing game podcasts, the following podcasts are being nominated for Best Podcast of the Year for going into the Ennies of next year. The nominations are starting. You could head on over to Morris's unofficial Tabletop RPG podcast or on over to the Ennies page to start putting in your nominations now for Tabletop Role-Playing Game of 2022. And that's it for all the Tabletop Role-Playing Game news, weather, sports, and general internet nonsense for today. If you appreciate this content and want to hear more, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet and you're feeling generous with the holidays coming up, please subscribe and help me hit 1,000 subs. Remember, if I hit 1,000 subs by January 1st, 2022, I will fulfill the request of certain individuals who've said, I don't show my face enough, and show the cat. Well, if you want to see my face and you want to see the cat, subscribe. Help me hit 1,000 subs, and I'll turn the real good camera back on. Till then, have a happy holidays. Stay safe. Black Friday stuff. Sales. We'll probably talk about all the Black Friday stuff that might be on sale for Tabletop Role-Playing Game. So until then, See ya. Now get that turkey in the oven and start getting ready because Thanksgiving is just a few days away. Da 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 da. And that's it.